ओके बोलो सही है कौन बैठ रहा है वहाँ बैठ रहा है ना सही तो है बैठ आके देखिए सही तो है सही है ठीक है सर बढ़िया ओके यस मच बेटर रूम भी पूरा ऑफ करना है क्या और म्यूट है ना मतलब म्यूट है आवाज नहीं आ रही सही ओके उनका माइक को शेयर
So, good morning, sir. Um, Shareholders view has been open and the opening slide started playing, sir. We request all the directors and KMPs to keep your comments minimum, sir. The audio from this room will be heard for the shareholders also. Thank you.
हेलो हेलो, इसमें क्या सेटिंग करना है?
You are audible.
हाँ,
across
Good morning, sir. So, Chairman, sir, can you please test your audio once? So, Chairman, sir,
Hello.
can you please test? Yes, sir, you're audible. Thank
Can
you.
you hear?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
So,
So
then the meeting
before
will
we
start in
go
next
live,
1 minute, sir.
before we go live, let me welcome all my colleagues who are present here. And very soon we'll be going live. So yes.
We request all the speaker shareholders to be on mute kindly. Please avoid the background disturbance by unmuting. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you, dear shareholders and other stakeholders who are present here today. In terms of Regulation 59 of the Bank of Baroda General Shares and Meetings Regulations 1998, I, Hasmukh Adia, Chairman of the bank, chair this meeting. Your bank is holding this 26th annual general meeting through video conferencing and other audio-video means. The deemed venue for the 26th AGM shall be considered as the head office of the bank at Baroda. On my personal behalf and on behalf of the board of directors and the employees of the bank, I extend a very warm welcome to each one of you to this 26th annual general meeting of your bank. I've been informed that the requisite quorum as per Regulation 58(1) of the Bank of Baroda General Shares and Meetings Regulations 1998 for the AGM meeting is present, and I call this meeting to order. The bank has received a communication from the Government of India authorizing Sri S.K. Roy, Under Secretary, Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, to attend this meeting and vote on the agenda items of the of notice. The central government, the major shareholder, holds 30.82 crore equity shares, being 63.97% of the paid-up equity share of the bank. Now, let me take this opportunity to introduce the directors on the board of the bank who are present in this meeting. Mr. Sanjeev Chadda, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer. Mr. Sanjeev Chadda, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer. Sri Ajay K. Khurana, Executive Director. Sri Ajay K. Khurana. Sri Vikramaditya Singh Khichi, Executive Director. Sri Devdutt Chand, Executive Director. Sri Joydeep Datta Roy, Executive Director. Mr. Ajay Singhal, Director. Srimati Sondra Kumar, Shareholder Director and Chairperson of Audit Committee of the Board. Sri Sridhar Srinivasan, Shareholder Director. Sridhar is there?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Okay. You are not on video, I think.
My video seems to be on, but I'm sorry if you're not able to.
Okay.
Good morning
Yeah.
to all.
Yeah, good morning. Okay. Then Mr. Alok Vajpayee, Shareholder Director and Chairman of the Stakeholders Relationship Committee. Mr. Vajpayee. Sridhar, you can see him there now. Sridhar Srinivas. Okay. Sri Amit Agarwal, the Director representing Government of India. Sri Amit Agarwal, Director representing Government of India, and Srimati Parvati V. Sundaram, the RBI nominee director, have expressed their inability to attend today's meeting due to their prior commitments. In terms of the circulars issued by MCA and SEBI, the pre-dispatch notice providing details of this meeting was published in Business Standard and Indian Express in English, Business Standard in Hindi, and Sandesh in Gujarati on 23rd May 2022, intimating shareholders about the AGM and requesting them to register their email IDs if not already registered with the bank or depositories, so as to receive the notice and the annual report. The notice of this meeting, along with the various links, including full annual report of 21-22, was emailed on 3rd of June 2022 to the shareholders who have registered their email IDs. Post-dispatch, e-voting notice of the 26th AGM was published in Business Standard and Indian Express in English, Business Standard in Hindi, and Sandesh in Gujarati on 4th of June 2022. The notice as well as the annual report are also available on the bank's website of the stock exchanges as well as the e-voting platform provider. With your consent, I take the notice as read. As required in the MCA circulars, the bank has provided facility to shareholders to attend the meeting through two-way communication facility provided by Caffeine Technologies Limited. Shareholders who wish to make observations or seek clarification on the agenda items were provided facility to send their observations or queries and register as speaker to speak at this meeting from 23rd June 2022 to 24th June 2022. I've been informed that some shareholders have registered as speakers to speak at the meeting. The bank, in compliance with SEBI Listing Obligations and Disclosure Requirements Regulations 2015, is also providing live webcast facility to our shareholders for viewing the annual general meeting. Now I'd like to read the chairman's statement, which is also part of the annual report here. Dear stakeholders, it gives me great pleasure to share with you the progress made by your bank through this annual report and the general operating environment during FY 21-22. FY 22 started with the second wave of COVID-19 and the uncertainty on its spread posed high risk across the globe. The fastest spread of the mutated virus across the world and the unequal access to vaccine for countries severely affected the overall global growth prospects. However, the response of countries to the situation in terms of ensuring access to the vaccines and additional policy stimulus helped revive global economic activity to a great extent, though in a phased manner. India has done very well in this respect, and this is manifested in the GDP growth rate of 8.7%, which India achieved in FY 2022, with all sectors operating in a normal manner. The credit for this high growth trajectory for the economy may be attributed to the efforts of the government, which provided an enabling environment by providing incentives wherever required, like the PLI scheme, which also, while also addressing the needs of weaker sections and yet maintaining fiscal deficit at the targeted rate. At the same time, the CAPEX provided necessary push for investments, which had to pick up at the private sector end. We can be sanguine of this link being strengthened in FY 2023. As far as the Indian economy is concerned, the year 21-22 witnessed overall revival across all major sectors in the economy. The GDP of the country expanded by 20.3% in Q1, 8.5% in Q2, 5.4% in Q3, and 4.1% in Q4 of FY 2022. The GDP for the full year is marked at 8.7% as compared with a contraction of 6.6% during FY 2021. as a result of overall revival in the economic activity of the country. India's GDP growth at 8.7% for financial year 2022 was in line with the estimates of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation at 8.9% and IMF estimate of 8.2%. With the proactive actions being taken by the government and the regulators, we do believe that India's GDP rate will continue to grow in FY 2023, as well as India will still be one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The RBI had maintained an accommodative monetary policy stand with unchanged repo rate throughout the year, as the focus was on the growth. The RBI has taken several measures to tackle the situation that had arisen due to pandemic and due to geopolitical problems, which had the potential of affecting the country's financial sector. The Reserve Bank has given the highest priority to maintain financial stability by taking necessary steps to ease liquidity constraints, restore market confidence, and prevent contagion effect to other segments of financial market. All this has ensured that the banking system has become well capitalized, with the quality of assets improving substantially during the year. Toward the end of FY 2022, the war in Ukraine has enhanced uncertainty and posed challenges. The Indian government has reacted proactively to curb inflation as well as reducing supply disruptions to ensure that the equilibrium is maintained in the economy. Currency markets have turned highly volatile in response to a hawkish Fed and elevated Russia-Ukraine tensions, with the US dollar index reaching its highest level since June 2020 due to the flight to safety syndrome. Here too, prompt intervention and guidance by the RBI has ensured that volatility has been curbed without the rupee losing the competitive edge in the exports market. Going forward, elevated oil and commodity prices, lingering war and sanctions, prolonged supply chain disruptions, global financial market volatility emanating from monetary policy shifts in major economies, and renewed waves of COVID-19 across the countries are factors that will drive market sentiments. We are, however, sanguine of FY23, notwithstanding the challenges being posed by the external economy, as the strong foundations for sustained growth in the Indian economy, as well as in your bank, are in place. The banking sector can see better business as the private sector investment cycle gradually turns around. This augurs well for the bank. Your bank recorded an excellent performance during FY 2022. The major business and profitability parameters of the bank have improved significantly as compared with the previous financial years. I'm happy to inform you that after FY 2017, the bank has proposed a dividend of rupees 2.85 per share for the financial year ending 31st March 2022, which is a clear indication of the bank's strong financials and increasing profitability. Your bank has always been striving to be the first in the industry to offer the best. The bank has launched various unique banking features on its digital interfaces like Bob World. The initiatives like Bob World, Bob Now, digital lending platform ensure that our customers are not only getting the best in the industry today, but also elements of future banking today itself. Our digital banking platform is not only state of the art, but is also safe with all risk and security features built in. We have been awarded as the best technology bank by the Indian Banks Association for the second year in a row. The bank is getting a lot of positive response from our retail as well as corporate banking customers for our digital products and services. This gives us a lot of motivation to work even harder to always offer the best and the latest in the industry. The bank has a positive outlook for the financial year 22-23. The government of India has come up with many initiatives for increasing the spending on infrastructure projects and other investments to revive the economy. The banking industry, of course, would be benefited due to increase in the demand for bank credit, and Bank of Baroda would be a key beneficiary of this development. The bank has shown that it is adaptable to change and has been able to respond quickly to the evolving macroeconomic conditions. The bank has fine-tuned its operational capabilities and increased its delivery capacity. The bank has adopted a phygital, a combination of physical as well as digital model, by offering the latest products and services using its strong digital platform along with conventional branch banking. The major business goals and objectives of the bank are focused on creating a sustainable and profitable business model with a greater customer-friendly approach, adopting latest technological innovations to increase the brand value of the bank. Going forward, the bank will continue to serve the society and all its customers while supporting the various nation-building initiatives for the progress of the nation and maximizing our productivity and profitability to enhance the satisfaction of our stakeholders. I sincerely thank all the stakeholders, including shareholders, customers, for their continued support and trust in our bank. I'd like to place on record my appreciation for all Barodian employees for their hard work and enthusiasm shown, especially during the difficult time of pandemic, which ensured continuous services to our customers. I also express my sincere thanks to Government of India, the Reserve Bank of India, and other regulators for their support and guidance. Last but not the least is to place on record my thanks and appreciation to all my colleague board members for their valuable input and guidance. I'm confident that the bank will remain committed to achieve its business goals and social commitments and make you all the more proud of being associated with the bank. This is an end of my statement. Now we go forward to the next item. In terms of Regulation 44 of SEBI Listing Obligations Disclosure Requirement Regulations 2015, read with Rule 20 of Companies Rules, Companies Management and Administration Rules 2014, a remote e-voting facility has been provided to the shareholders to vote electronically on the agenda items mentioned in the notice of AGM. The bank has appointed Caffeine Technology Limited as the agency to provide the remote e-voting facility to the shareholders. The remote e-voting commenced from 9 a.m. on 23rd of June 2022 and concluded at 5 p.m. on 26th of June 2022. To facilitate shareholders who are yet to vote on the agenda items by using remote e-voting facility, the bank has engaged the services of Caffeine Technologies Limited for providing e-voting facility, and the shareholders can vote during the course of this meeting. Shri S.N. Viswanathan from S.N. Anand Subramanian and Company Secretaries has been appointed as scrutinizer for both the e-voting and the electronic voting process. Shareholders who wish to cast their votes can cast their votes during the course of this meeting. Now, I will now read out the agenda items one by one and thereafter invite shareholders to make their observations. Agenda number 1, to discuss, approve and adopt the balance sheet and profit and loss account for the year ended 31st of March 2022, together with the reports of the Board of Directors on the working and activities of the bank for the financial year 2021-22, and auditor's report on balance sheet and accounts. Agenda item number 2, to approve and declare dividend for the financial year 21-22. As informed earlier, the Board of Bank has proposed dividend of rupees 2.8 per equity share. The dividend shall be paid to all those shareholders holding shares as on 20th June 2022 being the cutoff date for the said purpose, and will be paid on or before 26th of July 2022. I now invite participation of the shareholders to make their observations on the agenda items. I request the Company Secretary to call the shareholders who are registered to speak one by one, and also providing guidance for the efficient conduct of this process. After all the shareholders have spoken, I will request Shri Sanjeev Chadda to respond to the observations of the shareholders. Company Secretary.
I will now call speakers who have registered to speak one by one. Speakers can switch on their video and mic before speaking. In case of bandwidth issues, you may switch off the video and speak. Shareholders are requested to confine their observations or queries to the matters pertaining to the agenda only. Queries on other agenda items may not be responded to. Shareholders are requested to keep their observations brief and not to repeat the observations queries already made raised by earlier speakers and keep their talk as short as possible, not exceeding 2 to 3 minutes. To ensure equal opportunity to all who wish to speak. For good order, the Managing Director will respond to the observations and queries after the shareholders have made their observations. I will now call the names of the speakers one by one. First speaker is Mr. Hiranand Kotwani from Kalyan.
Mr. Hiranand Kotwani, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera and proceed, sir. Sir, Mr. Hiranand Kotwani has not logged in currently, sir. You may proceed with the next speaker. Thank you.
Mr. Santosh Kumar Sarraf, Kolkata. Mr. Santosh Kumar Sarraf, Kolkata.
Mr. Santosh Kumar Saraf, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera and proceed, sir. Sir, Mr. Santosh Kumar Saraf has not logged in currently, sir.
Miss SP Bamanshaw Desania. Miss SP Bamanshaw Desania from Mumbai.
So, Mr. Aspi Bamansha Basania, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera and proceed, sir. Mr. Aspi Bamansha, you are visible, sir, but your audio is not there, sir.
Can you see me and hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you and see you.
Chairman,
And
sir, I'm Aspi from Bombay. Sir, I've got a very few questions. Sir, everybody in India is harping on net banking. But where is the internet to do internet banking? With only two operators, Jio and Airtel, none of them are interested in improving their services. They are only interested in milking the public. In view of the above, what are your plans for net banking? Without good quality internet, Chairman sir, do you think economy will grow at 8%? Sir, I understand from news reports that BOB is part of consortium lenders to fund Kutch copper project. What is the debt equity ratio for the above project? And where copper concentrate will be sourced from? And what is the project ROIC? So what is our total exposure to Adani Group? In case due to any reason you cannot give amount of exposure, loans to Adani Group are how much percentage of our total loans? So once I'm muted, I can't ask any further questions. That's why I'm preempting what replies you will give. So I also have a savings account with BOB. I had opened my Dana Bank account as a minor and now I'm 65. So I've got a long history with Dana Bank. So a few months back, I deposited a BOB check in my BOB account in Bombay, main branch on Mumbai Samachar Marg. I received a call from that branch saying you should deposit in branch of Drawer or Droy. So have we abandoned anywhere banking? I collected the check and deposited in my branch. So next year when physical AGM starts, please continue with video conferencing also. So thank you very much and all the best.
Okay.
Sir, Mr. Santosh Kumar Saraf has logged in, sir. Do you want us to allow him, sir?
Yes, Mr. Santosh
Yes.
Kumar Sarraf, please.
Mr. Santosh Kumar sir, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera and proceed, sir.
नमस्कार, मैं कैमरा स्टार्ट करूँ, एक थोड़ा टाइम दीजिएगा.
Yes, sir. Sir, in the meanwhile, you can proceed with your
ओके
queries, sir.
बस ओके, एवरीथिंग ओके सर. माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, उपस्थित निदेशक के सदस्यगण और मेरे शेयरहोल्डर भाइयों बहनों, मेरा नाम संतोष कुमार श्राप, मैं कलकत्ता से बोल रहा हूँ. सर्वप्रथम आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार. आशा करता हूँ आप हमारे जितने डायरेक्टर हैं, जितने भी अधिकारीगण हैं, जितने भी कर्मचारी और जितने भी हमारे शेयरहोल्डर भाई बहन हैं, आज इस वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस मीटिंग में प्रेजेंट हैं, वो अच्छे स्वास्थ्य में होंगे सर. सर, मैनेजमेंट को धन्यवाद देता हूँ. काफी दिन बाद आपने अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस दिया, उसके कारण अपने जो डिविडेंड पेड लिस्ट में पीयूसी की कंपनियां थी, बैंकें थी, वो बाहर निकल के आई है. ये मैनेजमेंट की कड़ी मेहनत का फल है कि आपने अच्छा रिजल्ट दिया और इसके लिए कर रहे हो सर. सर, मेरा एक प्रश्न यह है कि अपने जो फिक्स डिपॉजिट आदि की जो स्कीमें बनाते हैं, ये अपने मार्केटिंग वाले बनाते हैं. तो मैं चाहूँ मार्केटिंग से हमें एक रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट टीम भी रखी जाए, जो बाजार में घूम के पता लगाए कि लोग किस तरह की स्कीम, कितने दिन की स्कीम और कैसे स्कीमें चाहते हैं. उससे क्या है कि अपने अन्य बैंकों के अलावा अपनी स्कीमें अलग टाइप की होगी, उसका मैं समझता हूँ काफी अपना को रिजल्ट मिलेगा. तो मैं चाहूँगा एक आरडी डिपार्टमेंट में अपनी कंपनी में मार्केटिंग स्कीम के साथ में किया जाए, जिससे कि नए नए अलग टाइप के प्रोडक्ट, ये नहीं कि 61 डे 70 तो नॉर्मल है सर, हर बैंक रखती है. अपने अलग टाइप के प्रोडक्ट हो जो किसी से मेल नहीं खाते हो, तो उनकी नीड के हिसाब से अगर जरूरत तो अपने पास में आएंगे सर. ये मैं रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ सर. एक सर, अपने कर्मचारी जो है उनमें फीमेल की परसेंटेज काफी कम है सर. इसके बारे में आप उसका रेशियो कमती करने के लिए क्या कदम उठा रहे हैं, ये भी अगर बताएंगे तो बहुत अच्छा होगा सर. एक सर, अपनी खुद की बिल्डिंगे हैं, जहाँ अपने खुद के मकान हैं, वहाँ पे आपने रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग के लिए क्या व्यवस्था की है, बताइएगा सर. एक वहाँ रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी के बारे में क्या सोचा, वहाँ आपने सोलर या आदि चीज की व्यवस्था की तो बताने का कष्ट करिएगा सर. एक सर, मैं ये जान रहा हूँ अभी 1 जुलाई से हमारी गवर्नमेंट ने सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक को बैन कर दिया. इसके लिए आपने ब्रांचेज में और अपने ऑफिस में क्या इंस्ट्रक्शन आप दे रहे हैं, ये भी बताएंगे तो बहुत अच्छा रहेगा सर. और सर, जितने भी अपने कर्मचारी और जितने भी अपने ब्रांच में स्टाफ हैं, उनकी फैमिली है, उनके लिए बूस्टर डोज के बारे में क्या स्टाफ किया. कभी जो 4th वेव है वो अभी करीबन 1 लाख एक्टिव केस इंडिया में हो गए हैं सर. तो कम से कम आपने अगर उनको लगा कि उनको हर समय टच रहता है उनका पब्लिक के साथ में, तो उनकी फैमिली को बूस्टर डोज के बारे में क्या विचार है, ये भी बताने का करिएगा सर. और मैं ज्यादा क्या कहूँ सर, आप अच्छा रिजल्ट दे रहे हैं, इसलिए ज्यादा क्या बोलना है, जितना बोलूँ उतना कम होता है. तो मैं फिर एक बार सर, एक लास्ट में एक चीज है, मेरे को एक चीज बोलना है जरूरी कि सर, ये आप बॉम्बे में आपके ऑफिस हैं, अरे फिजिकल मीटिंग तो बॉम्बे में होती है सर, और मैं कलकत्ता से बॉम्बे जाके अटेंड भी नहीं कर सकता, मेरी जो एज है. तो मैं चाहूंगा कि फिजिकल मीटिंग जब भी आप करें, उसके साथ में 15 से 20 मिनट का जो सेशन है वो पान इंडिया शेयर होल्डर के रखें, जो अपनी मन की बात, क्योंकि हाइब्रिड आप कर सकते हैं. जैसे अभी हमारे केशवराम कंपनी, आपने नाम सुना, केशवराम इंडस्ट्री कलकत्ता में कंपनी है, उन्होंने फिजिकल मीटिंग कला मंदिर में की थी, जो उसके साथ में उन्होंने रजिस्ट्रेशन करवाया था वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस पास करने के लिए. तो पहले फिजिकल मीटिंग वालों को मौका दिया और फिर आपको वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस वाले को मौका दिया. ये कंसेप्ट पहले इन्फोसिस बंगलोर में यूज करती थी. पहले फिजिकल वाले को मौका देते थे, फिर बॉम्बे वाले को मौका देते. बॉम्बे से लोग अच्छी तरह नॉलेज है सर. तो मैं चाहूंगा ऐसा कंसेप्ट रखेंगे तो हम दोबारा नेक्स्ट डे में आपसे अपने दिल की भावना प्रकट कर सकेंगे, हमारे जितने भी कर्मचारी उनके परिवार के लिए अपनी संवेदना प्रकट कर सकेंगे. तो मैं हाथ जोड़ के रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ, इसको कंसेप्ट रखिएगा सर. एक लास्ट में एक उत्तर और दे दीजिएगा कि अपने जो फिजिकल मीटिंग करते थे उसका एक्सपेंसेस कितना होता था, और आज 2 साल जब हमने वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस मीटिंग आपने की है उसका एक्सपेंसेस कितना आया सर, ये बताने का कष्ट करिएगा. और आपके परिवार की और जितने भी कर्मचारी के परिवार की शुभकामना करता हूँ कि 2022-23 आपके लिए वेल्दी, हेल्दी, प्रोस्पेरस और सेफ्टी के साथ बीती सर. सर, ये जो केफिन का प्लेटफॉर्म आपने हायर किया है, मैं समझता एट प्रेजेंट इंडिया में बेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म है. प्लेटफॉर्म ही नहीं सर, इनके जो ऑपरेटर मॉडरेटर है वो भी इतने अच्छे सर्विस देते हैं, क्या बताए सर. हर समय ध्यान रखते हैं कौन शेयर होल्डर अटेंड कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है. तो मैं चाहूंगा फ्यूचर में इसी तरह ये सर्विस भी देते रहे. और मैं दुआ करता हूँ हमारे जितने मॉडरेटर और जितने भी केफिन पर के कर्मचारी है उनको इसी तरह हिम्मत दे भगवान जी, तो शेयर होल्डर आदि को बढ़िया सर्विस दे. जय हिंद, जय भारत, नमस्कार सर.
संतोष जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच संतोष जी. Our next speaker, Mr. Abhishek J from Chennai. Mr. Abhishek J from Chennai.
Sir, Mr. Abhishek J has not logged in currently, sir.
Mr. Manoj Kumar Gupta, Kolkata. Mr. Manoj
Hello.
Kumar Gupta,
Hello.
Kolkata.
Good morning, respected Chairman, Board of Directors, fellow shareholders. My name is Manoj Kumar Gupta. I am equity shareholder of Bank of Baroda. Sir, first of all, I am very happy to see our chairman. After 4 years, after 5 years, I am looking him because जैसा उनका नाम है वैसा उनका फेस है हंसमुख, वो सदा हंसते रहते हैं. Because I've got a chance to meet him in 2017 when he was the finance secretary at North Block, and today he is our chairman. So I'm very happy that he is our chairman, and I'm not confident. I have full trust that bank will growth and progress on and touch the new heights under his leadership, because he has a vast experience about the banking, finance, and every sector, and he will take the bank in new direction. And sir, I have few questions, sir. What's your future plan? How you will grow the bank, and how you will reduce your NPA? Your NPA has gone up, so how you will reduce your NPA, and what steps are you taking to reduce? And how many cases are running in NCLT against the defaulters, from big to small, or small to big? How many cases are pending in NCLT, NCLAT? And sir, what steps are you taking against the defaulters? Have you any plan to issue the lookout notice, or take the help of ED or other government agencies to get back your money? And sir, how many? What's your plan to open new branches in the interiors? Because sir, you have served the nation as finance secretary, revenue secretary, and other higher posts of the country. You know that भारत बढ़ रहा है, देश बढ़ रहा है, जिले बढ़ रहे हैं, स्टेट बढ़ रहे हैं. तो आपका क्या प्लान है नई ब्रांचेज खोलने में? एंड नेट बैंकिंग सर, नेट बैंकिंग में आपका क्या प्लान है कि विल यू आस्क योर इन्वेस्टर्स to take the help of Bank of Baroda? Why are you not initiating to your investors, small shareholders, to open their account, a small saving bank account, or a children's account in Bank of Baroda with some facilities or some points, reward points? Why people will go to Kotak Mahindra, Yes Bank, and Axis Bank? Because their people comes to house, they call the mobile phone, sir, we are giving this facility. So you should also adopt that way to insist the pupils to open their account with Bank of Baroda. And sir, why are you not opening the ATM counters at railway stations? The network of railways is spreading throughout the country. You know very well, जहाँ कश्मीर में रेल नहीं पहुंच सकती थी, वहाँ रेल पहुंच गई, कटरा, जम्मू, and others. So why are you not spreading your branch and ATM services on the platforms, or the some tier 1 station, tier 2 station, or tier 3 stations? And sir, last year I have missed to speak, but I had set one request that you have celebrated 25th year of Silver Jubilee. So why you have missed to the investors? How you will reward to the investors? And I believe again that you will take the company with the help of entire team. I thanks to your team for the growth and dividend to the investors. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Manojji. Our next speaker, Mr. Manish Prabhulal Mehta from Baroda. Mr. Manish Prabhulal Mehta ji from Baroda.
Mr. Manish Prabhulal Mehta. Mr. Manish Prabhulal Mehta, we request you to unmute your audio.
Hello.
Switch on. Yes, sir, you're audible, sir. You may proceed.
My video is not on, looks like. Is it okay?
Yes, sir, you may proceed, sir. That's fine, sir.
Yeah. Good morning to everybody. Congratulations to Team Baroda for much better performance in this year. I have some positives. I have noted some positives from the annual report. BOB has returned to dividend list after a gap of 5 years. There is reduction in gross NPA from 8.87% to 6.61%. Domestic CASA has been 44.24%. Net interest margin domestic has risen to 3.09%. I've tried to analyze how the increase in net profit has happened of 6,443.32 crore. The composition is operating profit has improved by 1,189.51 crores. There is reduction in provisions 2,640.92 crores and reduction in income tax provision of 2,612.89 crores. A question which I am posing for comparatively young management team. I appreciate very young and dynamic executive directors on the board, as well as the experienced people on the board. I look forward to much better performance on the side of operating profit in years to come. I have two suggestions for Team Baroda. Focus on increasing operating profit, reduce cost to income ratio from 49.24%. Bank can trust its risk mitigation ability and enter real estate sector like SBI is doing by way of asset-backed loan or LAP or some other private players are doing. One more observation about private industrial parks. Our bank has a policy of funding government industrial parks, but in state of Gujarat, government has been encouraging private industrial parks because government itself is not able to push lot of GIDC. So they are encouraging by way of giving incentives. I would request the bank to look into this suggestion of allowing finance to private industrial park also as an infrastructure project and not as a real estate project. One more thing I would like to know from our MD, what is the effect the bank will have on its investment portfolio in the rising interest rate scenario in the years to come? I thank you. Thank you.
Our next speaker, Mr. Manjeet Singh from Delhi.
हेलो, माई ऑडिबल?
Yes, you are audible.
हाँ जी, बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा की पूरी टीम, मैनेजमेंट, सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट, माई को शेयर होल्डर और जहाँ भी आपके एम्प्लॉइज काम कर रहे हैं और हमारे रजिस्टर मीडिएटर, सभी का मैं स्वागत करता हूँ और प्रार्थना करता हूँ भगवान के आगे कि सभी स्वस्थ रहें। बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा, आप मेंशन करते हैं कि आप मीटिंग कर रहे हैं 26, इसकी आपको बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो। आजकल कोई पुरानी कपड़े की दुकान या पुरानी मिठाई की दुकान जो होती है अपने बुजुर्गों को नहीं भूलती और हम अपने बुजुर्गों को भूलकर बैठ गए हैं। हमारा जो सिंस है, हमारा जो जन्म है बैंक का, सुनिए सर जरा पहले एक मिनट, हमारा जो बर्थ है वो दिखा रहा है हमारा 1908 का, तो उसके हिसाब से हमें सिंस करना चाहिए। आगे बैंक के साइड पे कहीं लिखना चाहिए कि हमारा जन्म सिंस जो है 1908 का है। महाराजा सयाजी राव ने जो है हमारा नींव रखी थी मीटिंग की और उसकी बैंक की, और उसको जो है अगले साल 115 साल पूरे होने को जा रहे हैं और 19 जुलाई 1969 को हम सरकार की धारा के अंदर आ गए। नेशनलाइज बैंक बन गया हमारा। जो इकट्ठे बैंक कितने हुए थे नेशनलाइज, उसमें हमारा भी बैंक था। 19 जुलाई 1969 को हम नेशनलाइज हो गए। तो उस हिसाब से आपको जो अपना मेंशन जो है जी वो 1908 से ही करना चाहिए। और जो आपने रिजल्ट इस बार पेश किए हैं, पिछले सालों के मुकाबले बहुत अच्छे रिजल्ट पेश किए हैं और अब डिविडेंड देने लायक हो पाए हैं हमारी कंपनी, इसकी मैं आपको मुबारकबाद देना चाहूँगा। और सर हमारे एनपीए क्या है और कोई विस्फोटक एनपीए कोई एकदम डिक्लेयर होने वाला तो नहीं है, ऐसी संभावना ना रखना, क्योंकि उससे जो है शेयर होल्डरों का मनोबल भी टूटता है और उनका मूल्यांकन भी टूटता है, क्योंकि शेयर जो है बाजार में एकदम टूटता है। तो अगर कोई एनपीए ऐसे हैं तो उनको छुपा कर ना चलना, उनको उजागर कर कर चलना, क्योंकि जब वो एकदम जाहिर होते हैं तो उसका बहुत असर पड़ता है। आपके सेक्रेटरियल डिपार्टमेंट ने एजीएम का आयोजन किया, बड़ा अच्छा लगा। जमाना बदल गया है, सरकार की द्वारा दिशा निर्देश हैं और आप एनुअल रिपोर्ट नहीं भेज सकते, वो एक मर्यादा में बंधने वाली बात है, क्योंकि सरकार भी चाहती है कि पेड़ ज्यादा ना कटें, कागज ज्यादा ना बने और वेस्ट ना हो। तो मेरी आपसे गुजारिश है कि एनुअल रिपोर्ट तो आप छापते ही हैं, जो शेयर होल्डर अपनी लाइब्रेरी के लिए रखना चाहते हैं तो उसके लिए आप Amazon पर उसे सेल करिए। आप अपनी एनुअल रिपोर्ट को बेचिए, एनुअल रिपोर्ट को जो है प्लेटफॉर्म जो है ई कॉमर्स के उन पर ये उपलब्ध कराइए, हम पैसे देकर खरीदेंगे उसे। आप जो है हमें मत बेचिए शेयर होल्डर को, आप Amazon वगैरह पे उपलब्ध कराइए इसे, हम अपना इसको पैसे देकर वहाँ खरीदेंगे, क्योंकि जो कलेक्टर होता है ना जी, वो कलेक्शन जरूर करता है अपनी, तो हमें इससे वंचित मत करिएगा। सर, बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा का इस टाइम मैं जो है अकाउंट होल्डर भी हूँ। किसी टाइम में हमारा जो अकाउंट था वो देना बैंक में था, रोहतास नगर में, और आपने लोनी रोड की बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा की ब्रांच, ये शाहदरा की जिक्र हो रहा है जी, दिल्ली का, इसका पिन कोड है 110032, पिन कोड है जी 110032। रोहतास नगर में आपने ब्रांच बना रखी है जी बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा की, और जो देना बैंक की थी, जो आप लोनी रोड वाली ब्रांच थी वो इसके अंदर ले आए, और विजया बैंक की एक ब्रांच थी उसको भी इसमें ले आए। और सर, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का इतना शोर मचा हुआ है और बैंक में वहाँ कर्मचारी नहीं होते, आप थोड़ा इस पे गौर करिए। मतलब आप जितने बोर्ड में अधिकारी बैठे हो ना, इतने आदमी नहीं होते बैंक में काम करने के लिए, और वो 3 जो है ब्रांचों का भार सह रहा है, वहाँ काम ही नहीं होते। कोरोना के बाद तो अब क्या कहा जाए जी, पासबुक तो कभी एंट्री का कोई सिस्टम ही नहीं है वहाँ। वो बार कहते हैं जी उसमें करो एटीएम में जाकर, और एटीएम में इतना सक्षम नहीं है कि वो कर सके, पता नहीं कौन डाइवर्स करते हैं इधर से उधर। और सर, ये हमारी सब्सिडियां जो कंपनियां हैं, ये हमारे जो प्रॉफिट और लॉस में किस तरह का रोल अदा करती हैं, थोड़ा इस बारे में बताइएगा। बड़ौदा बीएनपी और ये फॉर्मेसी, बड़ौदा ग्लोबल, बीओबी कैपिटल मार्केटिंग, नेशनल बैंक लिमिटेड, इंडिया फर्स्ट लाइफ, इंडिया इंश्योरेंस, बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा बोट्सवाना, बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा केन्या, बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा
Sorry to
युगांडा,
interrupt, Manjit sir.
बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा, ये क्या हो रहा है? ये सब्सिडियां हमारे नुकसान कराती हैं या फायदा कराती हैं? इनके प्रॉफिट लॉस अकाउंट कहाँ है? और जो इनके जो डायरेक्टर हैं और वो और जो उसमें वो बड़े अधिकारी हैं, वो सिमिलर होते हैं, तो यहाँ तो नौकरी नहीं मिलती लोगों को, और ये कई कई पदों पर बैठे हैं। तो इसलिए ऐसा रूल बनाइए जी, एक आदमी एक पद। किसी अगर दूसरी कंपनी में वो अधिकारी है तो वो सिमिलर नहीं होना चाहिए, वो दूसरा होना चाहिए। ये इतनी तनख्वाहें आप बांट रहे हैं, अब तो राज्य सरकारें, केंद्र सरकारें पेंशन की तरफ भी ध्यान दे रही हैं, जो विधायक और जो है मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट, उनको भी लिमिटेड कर रही हैं पेंशनें देने के
Sorry
लिए।
to
तो आप ये
Mr.
भत्ते
Manjit
किस लिए
sir.
इतने बांट
I
रहे हैं? ये
request you
अधिकारी
to
सिमिलर होते हैं, आप इस तरफ जरा गौर करिए। और हम आपसे उम्मीद करते हैं कि जिस तरह आपके दिशा निर्देश में ये बैंक अब इस साल चला है, आने वाले टाइम में भी चलेगा, और बहुत अच्छे आप रिजल्ट देंगे। थैंक यू। क्योंकि कई परेशानियां बीच में आ रही, बोलने वाले आ रहे हैं, तो इसके लिए मैं अपना
ओके,
जो है खत्म करता हूँ।
Sir, Manjit
अब
sir,
आप
we
खत्म
request you to
करिए।
wrap up
थैंक
your
यू,
question.
थैंक यू। ओके,
Our next speaker, Mr. Hariram Chaudhary from Mumbai. Mr. Hariram Chaudhary from Mumbai.
Sir, Mr. Hariram Chaudhary has not logged in currently, sir.
Next speaker, Mr. Yunus Rangwala, Mumbai.
Yeah, good morning, dynamic chairman, Mr. Hasmukh sir and his team. I speak from city of Mumbai, sir. I am very thankful to our company secretary and his team Sir, I'm very happy with our company performance. Sir, this year you come on a dividend list. This shows our bank are going up. Sir, we have merged the two banks, Dena Bank and Vijay Bank. After these two banks, what is the total number of staff? My first question, sir. And sir, second question, sir, in COVID-19, any staff is affected, sir, in COVID-19. And our bankers, I came to know our bankers done all the staff. Sir, this shows how you taking the care of the staff, sir. सर लास्ट ईयर अपना 25 सर मुंबई में सर हो सके तो 25 का जो सेलिब्रेशन है सर वो रह गया सर लास्ट ईयर का सर आप हो सकता में रखिए तो हमें आना हम आपको मिलना सर 25 साल का सेलिब्रेशन रह गया सर आपकी सर इस बारे में बैंक इतनी अच्छी बैंक है सर मैं आपका ब्रांचेस में आपका होल्डर हूँ आपका बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा में इतनी अच्छी सर्विस देते हैं और आपके स्टाफ सर लाजवाब है सर उनका कोई कहना नहीं है चांद में सितारा है ऐसे आपका स्टाफ है सर और अपना सेक्रेटरी टीम जो अपने सेक्रेटरी साहब जो अच्छे बैलेंस मेंटेन करते हैं सर मुझे एक छोटा सा रिक्वेस्ट मुझे ऐसी चाहिए हेलो सर हो सके तो मुझे बैलेंस शीट भेजने का कृपा करिए सर मेरा हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट है सर और सर मैं जानना चाहता हूँ आपका ये जो 26 ईयर है सभी सर आपका फिजिकल मीटिंग हुआ तो हमें सर बॉम्बे वाले को भी जो चांस दीजिए सर अपने सब स्पीकर लोग रिक्वेस्ट सर मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस चालू रखिए सर फिजिकल रखिए नो प्रॉब्लम हमें उसके लिए मना नहीं है को हो सके तो फिजिकल के लिए भी सर मुझे बड़ौदा बुलाइए सर मैं फिजिकल में भी आना चाहता हूँ सर अगर हो सके तो सर मैं को आपको वापिस यहाँ पे आए सर और तो कुछ नहीं पूछना है मैं आपको शुभकामना देना चाहता हूँ बस कृपा कृपा स्वीकार करिए हसमुख सर और अच्छे यू आर डॉक्टर सर यू नो डॉक्टर सर आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू हियर दैट ये आपका सर देख के पोर्टफोलियो मुझे खुशी हुई मैं आपको फुल सपोर्ट देता हूँ और सर आने वाले सब रिजोल्यूशन में मेरा फुल सपोर्ट है मैंने फुल वोटिंग किया है और अपने कार्बी भी सर्विस लाजवाब है सर उनकी सर्विस लाजवाब है सर दे आर नंबर 1 कार्बी पीपल सर उनको आप अपने साथ में रखिए सर और सर अपने सेक्रेटरी साहब को मैं एक छोटा सा रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ हो सके तो फोन करिए मुझे उनको 2-3 सवाल पूछने का सर अगर हो मीटिंग के बाद हो सके तो आपके शेयर डिपार्टमेंट को मुझे फोन करने का कृपा करिए सर थैंक यू वेरी मच मैं गॉड माय कंपनी सर आपकी तबियत के लिए मैं खुदा के ऊपर दुआ करता हूँ आपके अच्छी और आपको आने वाले सर नेक्स्ट ईयर आप हमें सर जय हिंद जय महाराष्ट्र स्पीकिंग ऑफ मुंबई सर सिटी ऑफ मुंबई थैंक यू सर थैंक यू वेरी मच सर
थैंक यू वेरी मच यूसुफ जी our next speaker Miss Humayun Beruz Pardehi.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you, ma'am. Please proceed, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, it's such a delight to join this AGM. Since decades, we have been associated. We used to attend the analyst meet your director. I still remember Mr. Mayank Mehta, such a wonderful director, and so on. Now, I just want to just draw certain attention to you all. See, Dina Bank, Vijaya Bank, and Bank of Baroda got merged. We had accounts in all these three banks. We still have, I mean, of course, it has become Bank of Baroda. Now, we keep on getting messages frightening us that you have duplicate costs. You have duplicate costs. What is the meaning of this? It is common sense. We had account in Dina Bank. We had account in Vijaya Bank. We have account in Bank of Baroda nearby Princess Street branch. Now, naturally, we have accounts. Naturally, it's in our names. And now Reserve Bank, I don't know what action is going to take. We get so scared. We are senior citizens. And it's not a question of 1 lakh or 2 lakh. It's our entire life savings running into lakhs and lakhs of rupees. Please clarify this issue. Please appoint someone to ring us up. Or when we go to your branch, please let someone let us know what is to be done. And one more thing I just want to ask is, this Princess Street branch, I mean, do you appoint people on contract basis? Because whenever I go, I see the staff, different staff, new faces in certain areas, in certain places. Do you keep on contract basis also? Some are permanent, some faces, some temporary. Now, I thank the secretarial team. I thank you, Kali, for bringing me to this speakers forum. And I want to close because your bank is doing very well. Now it's under the able leadership of our doctor. Oh, doctor, we wish you all the best in running the company along with the management. And I don't want to take more of your time. Just let me know what is to be done in this situation. Just explain to Reserve Bank, to explain to what do they mean by duplicate costs and this and that, and what is to be done. What should we do? Should we transfer to one branch? What should be done? I'm sorry I brought up this topic. I have full faith in Bank of Baroda. No need to ask any other questions because we have been associated since years and years. Only thing is, please see your service improves in every branch all over. Thank you very much and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Ms. Humayun. Next speaker, Mr. Ganesh Narayan Vanmali from Mumbai. Mr. Ganesh Narayan Vanmali from Mumbai.
Sir, Mr. Ganesh Narayan has not logged in, sir, currently.
Miss Celestine Elizabeth from Mumbai.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am. You're audible, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Respected Dr. Kadia, other members of the board, my fellows attend virtual. I am speaking from Mumbai, Mrs. Screeners. First, thank the company secretary and his team for sending me e-annual report, KF and Tech for registering me and giving me this platform to speak. Our work very excellent. All the parameters are good. Find really Bega is my head. A good dividend is 2.85 is really very good. Only is good, but I am seeing it should double and triple because it's a very strong bank. Merger of another two strong banks, especially Vijay Bank. So it is now becoming more and more strong, and so the market capitalization also becomes very strong. Now I take the privilege to congratulate for all the awards, especially technology banked by I for the second year in great. Also the CSR work I appreciate. Have we done anything on the rating? If so, who's the rating agency is our rating? Now my sir, the first one, the rising interest rate will it affect our NIM or will it not? Because the inflation and all the rate has started rising, and from from US it everywhere. How much business percent is digital platform as our digital platform is supposed to be the best. Of course, I am not tech savvy, 70 plus, so but I like to hear all this. Number three, what is the effect of the geopolitical issue on our bank, especially have we got branches in Ukraine, Russia, or Sri Lanka, and are those branches there are performing or closed down? Number four, our NPA has come down. You designated some special office to handle the NPA. How much is the percentage of the restructured loan book to the total loan book? Um, and do we do sort of nurse accounts which are gone bad? Like in when I was working, we used lot of nursing that and coming and bringing them to our proper chat. Now everything go to IBC. Anyway, that is the now times. It's okay. Now next one is how many detected in this whistleblowing policy and were staff involved, and if so, what is the action taken? I would like to know how many percentage cyber crimes are banked and what we have done to control from the security side. Of course, many speakers have spoken before me, and I take this privilege to thank, and I have supported all the resolutions. Thank you very much. Mr. Mascarenas wants, who is also shareholder, he also wants to say a small line. Thank you.
Hello, respected Chairman, sir, distinguished members of the board, fellow shareholders. Good morning to you all. My name is Aloysius Mascarenhas. At the outset, I thank management, company secretary, and the team for sending me the e-balance sheet, which I received on time. The results are very good, as shown by facts and figures, and a very handsome dividend. Many questions have been asked by my fellow shareholder wife. I would like to repeat, but I would like to know, having how our profitability have grown and what is our future plan. And my personal question, sir, about the services are not so good because I'm having had an account with Vijay Bank, which is merged. My branch is shifted from Excelsior branch to Ballad Estate. I'm staying at Vadala, and I come to my Vadala branch. They say all our services are done by Ballad Estate. Even updation passbook are to state branch and no Vadala branch Bank of Baroda is service. Even credit card, they say they are issued in 2017. I don't know credit card. Are simply withholding my payment. They are saying get the. I don't have. When I've told them in writing that I don't possess the credit card, no transaction has. This issued 2017. So you have to. I said such service is not. Senior said 73 plus. So Ballad Estate from the home branch with and with branch level at Vadala. This is my only and suggestion. Everything I'm a bank and with the management. With this, I thank much for patient there. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you very much, sir. Next speaker, Shri Rajendra Prasad Tulsian from Delhi.
Sir, Mr. Rajendra Prasad has not logged in, sir, currently.
Ms. Lekha Satish Shah, Mumbai.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you, ma'am. Kindly proceed.
Thank you, sir. Respected Chairman, sir, Board of Directors, and my fellow members, good morning to all of you. Myself, Lekha Shah from Mumbai. First of all, I'm very much thankful to our company secretary, Mr. Agarwal ji, for sending the AGM notice well in time, which is full of knowledge, fact and figures in place. Thank you, Chairman, sir, for explaining us well about the bank. Congratulations for excellent work, sir. Sir, I would thank all the personnel of bank for receiving awards and recognition by the various plans during the year 21 and 22. Sir, I would like to ask few questions. My first question is, going through the report, I am glad to know our bank's progress in all fields like the digital banking, mobile application, etc. What is the percent of international and domestic deposits? My third question is, what are the new application launched in the current year for housing loan? Do we have any tie-up with any private lending finance companies? Any plans to merge branches in the metros and semi-urban areas? So I would like to say I strongly support all the resolutions for today's meeting and my best wishes always our bank and its prosperity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. Next speaker, Mr. Bimal Kumar Agarwal from Mumbai. Mr. Bimal Kumar Agarwal from Mumbai.
Sir, Mr. Bimal Kumar Agarwal has not logged in currently, sir.
Sir, can you give me an opportunity, sir?
Sir, Mr. Abhishek has logged in, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Can we
can you hear me, sir?
Yes, gentlemen, हमारा number.
Can you hear me, sir? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Abhishek, sir, allow me to switch on my camera, sir. Yes, I'm starting my camera as well, sir. Sir, my name is Abhishek, shareholder of the company. My DPID IN 301637 and client ID is 41359155. Sir, first of all, I congratulate the management on the eve of annual general body meetings. I trust all is well with you and your family in this challenging situation. Our company deserves much more respect than the current market cap
after completing decade of successful operations, profitability, and becoming one of the strongest banks in our respective segments. Sir, I would like to know how our business has been impacted in these past 2 years of this COVID time. The coronavirus and the subsequent lockdowns have left virtually no industry untouched after the COVID. So whether any employees have been sacked, hired, salary cut in percentage, if any, I would like to know from you, sir. And whether any salary cut was being taken by the management during the pandemic time, I would like to know from you, sir. And what are the steps being taken by the management to reduce the other expenses, legal professional charges, and the audit fee? Sir, the bank is having a huge amount of NPA. So, what are the proactive steps being taken by the bank to reduce the NPA in the years to come? And what are the necessary steps being taken by the bank to recover the same? And sir, I myself and my team are running a legal firm with the name and Seven Wells Associate in Chennai. So, I request your good selves to kindly enroll our firm in the empanelment of the company, and we will be glad to extend our services, sir. So, and I made a request last year also, sir, but I have not received any revert back from your team, sir. So kindly share the details of the company secretary so that I can get in touch with them and share my credentials with them, sir. And nothing much to ask, sir. I wish the bank and the board of directors a great success and prosperity in the years to come. And thank you for giving the opportunity, sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, Abhishek ji.
Sir, Mr. Hiranand Kotwani has also joined the meeting, sir. Do you want us to permit him, sir? The first
Yes.
speaker. Yes.
Mr. Hiranand Kotwani, please.
Mr. Hiranand Kotwani, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera, and proceed, sir. Mr. Hiranand Kotwani.
Yes, sir. Yes. Hello.
You're audible, sir. Kindly proceed.
Yeah. Namaste to all. So it is a great pleasure to join you virtually. Certainly, so many people are just praised without studying your balance sheet. I have some observation that your NPA is 54,000 crore. How you are going to tackle this? How much amount is involved in DRT, ARC, debt from tribunals, some court of cases, some NCTL? Will you elaborate this amount and how you are going to recover it? Because last so many years we are crying for the NPA, particularly the PSU banks. One of your ex-employee is from Delhi, that Ulhasnagar branch 3 was merged. I am staying in Kalyan. My shop is in Ulhasnagar. I'm from stock exchange. I used to visit Mumbai. Due to COVID, I am here. When branch is in Ulhasnagar too, this is not a forum. But Mr. Chairman just ordered the regional manager to visit this because this is the only branch. I see there was a huge rush outside the door. There's a marabari. I fail to understand a bank like a Bank of Baroda, 100 years, century old bank, and your service is not excellent. There is a good service, very good service, but you have to improve at branch level the employees, strength, excellencies, various digitalization. How you are going to tap that? Because it will improve our bank in every corner. How we are going to branches, digital branches, old people are there, we have to give service to them. 2, 3 if they passbook, they will good. Give them water and urinary service, they will very happy. They used to come. They are rich people. Those who are retired, they are rich. And they used to invest. Young people don't want to invest, just they want to gamble in the stock market. So please do something for these people. Your gross NPA 54, your net NPA is improvement. So but that is other thing is just improvement. Only the one thing is that your HR is our concern. How you are going to increase and motivate your employee? Because I come to know your employee some suicide due to the pressure. How the human right violation is reported in your organization, sexual harassment case, how you are dealing, how your training program is there. Because long way to go. We will not remain there, but Bank of Baroda will remain. How you are going to in various level and your vision and mission program, you will not be there, but bank will be there. How we उनको कैसा हम आगे रास्ता बताएंगे कि एकदम बैंक को एक्सलेंट करना है, एनपी नहीं करना है, सिंसियरिटी, competency will important role. Because this government has done well. I asked some Mundra, your ex-chairman, these gentlemen now we are improving, that government is doing well. Thank God we will survive this financial doldrum. So thank you and good luck ahead, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir. Our next speaker, Mr. Satish Jayantilal Shah from Mumbai.
Mr. Satish Jayantilal Shah, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera and proceed, sir. Sir, Mr. Satish Jayantilal Shah has not logged in currently, sir.
Okay. Next speaker, Mr. Dinesh Das Bhatia from Mumbai.
हेलो
Mr. Yes, Mr.
हाँ
Dinesh,
सर,
you are
मेरा आवाज
audible.
सुनाई देता है?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Kindly
हेलो
proceed.
हेलो
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. Kindly proceed, sir.
हाँ, मेरा वीडियो भी दिख रहा है सर?
No, sir. But you can proceed with your audio, sir. Thank you.
अच्छा, अभी दिख रहा है सर?
Yes, sir.
हेलो
Yes, sir. Yes,
हाँ
sir. You are visible, sir. You are visible and audible. Kindly proceed.
पहले तो मैं हसमुख अडिया जी आपको और आपका पूरा टीम को कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन कहूंगा कि बहुत अच्छा एक्सेलेंट रिजल्ट किया है। भले हमारा रिवेन्यू लास्ट ईयर से थोड़ा सा कम है, लेकिन हमने जो एक्सपेंडिचर में जो है वो काफी बचत किया है। उसमें भी अपने प्रोविजन में जो है काफी कम हो गया है, 5,000 करोड़ के से भी ज्यादा एक प्रोविजन कम हुआ है। तो मीन्स हमें लगता है कि एनपीए की कलेक्शन अच्छी आई होगी, जिसके हिसाब से हमें प्रोविजन कम करना पड़ा, जो हमारा नेट प्रॉफिट पे इफेक्ट करता है। ये आपकी और आपके फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट की जो मेहनत है वो दिखा रही है रिजल्ट में कि आपने खर्चा कम करके प्रोविजन कम करके काफी मुनाफा अच्छा बनाया है। जो लास्ट ईयर हमारा खाली 828.95 करोड़ मुनाफा नेट प्रॉफिट था, उसके सामने ये दफे हमारा 7,272.28 करोड़ का मुनाफा हुआ। बहुत अच्छी बात है, बधाई आपको, आपका पूरा डिपार्टमेंट को। बाकी हम ये, मेरे को खास कुछ पूछना तो नहीं, मेरे आगे जैसे उन्होंने पूछा ऐसा मैं भी, ये साइबर क्राइम के अंदर क्या, साइबर क्राइम में क्या पोजीशन है अभी सर, कितना हमारा इसमें नुकसान हुआ है, थोड़ा आप बताएंगे? क्योंकि हमारा फैमिली में भी एक जन को साइबर क्राइम हो गया, आपका बैंक में खाता था मेरा बेटे का बहू को, पर उसमें से कुछ आप लोग के डिपार्टमेंट में से कुछ हमने इधर उधर चक्कर काटे। बरोड़ा भी हम आए थे एक दफे मीटिंग में 2 साल पहले, कुछ हुआ नहीं हमें। भले अमाउंट तो 15,000 का था, लेकिन कुछ हुआ नहीं है। तो उसके लिए हमको किसको मिलना, अपना बॉम्बे में किसको मिलना, तो जरा आपकी माहिती देंगे। बाकी मेरा तो बस यही पूछना था कि एनपीए हमारा जो है वो प्रोविजन के हिसाब से ही लगता है, ग्रोस कितना है ये साल का और लास्ट ईयर का, और नेट कितना हो गया, थोड़ा उसके बारे में माहिती देंगे। और हमारा टॉप 10 कौन है एक्सपोजर, टॉप 10 एक्सपोजर अगर आप दे सकते हैं तो उसका माहिती देंगे। बाकी तो हम हर एक चीज में हम आपके सपोर्ट है, बस हमारी कंपनी ऐसे ही ऐसे आगे ही बढ़ती रहे। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you very much, sir. Next speaker, Mr. Dilip Kumar Jain from Jaipur.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You are
Yeah.
audible, sir. Kindly proceed, sir.
Thank you, sir. I am Dilip Kumar Jain from Jaipur and a shareholder of the Bank of Baroda and customer also. And very first of all, Mr. Adia, आपको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बधाई इतने अच्छे रिजल्ट देने के लिए। बैंक के प्रॉफिट बढ़ा है, सब कुछ हुआ है, और इसकी आशा है कि आगे भी ऐसे ही अपने बैंक बढ़ता रहेगा। आप लोगों की इतनी मेहनत है वो रंग ला रही है। वैसे आडिया साहब से मैं दिल्ली में मिला था डीएफएस में, जब आपसे 2009 में, तब आपसे मुलाकात हुई थी मेरी। अब सर एक मैटर ये है कि अपने यहाँ पे जब ये लोन करते हैं तो उसको सिविल निकालते हैं, और आपके अपने यहाँ के सारे लोन जो है सिविल बेस्ड है, सिविल के बेस पे इंटरेस्ट रेट डिसाइड होती है। और ये जो सिविल निकालते हैं उसमें मतलब उसके जो सर रिन्यूअल के टाइम पे जो सिविल निकालते हैं उसमें भी लोन अमाउंट डालते हैं, उसकी वजह से उसकी सिविल खराब हो जाती है। और ये जयपुर में कई केसेज में हुआ है कि जिसमें इन्होंने 5 बार 7 बार 8 बार सिविल निकाल दी, और उसकी वजह से उनकी 100-150 पॉइंट सिविल खत्म हो गई, और उसकी वजह से उसकी रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट बढ़ गई, उसको फाइनेंशियल लॉस हुआ, और ऊपर से कोई अपनी गलती मानने को तैयार नहीं है। एक मैटर हुआ इसमें, हमने कोशिश करके सिविल से एक राइटिंग भी है जिसमें कहा कि 7-8 बार सिविल निकालने की वजह से उनकी रेटिंग डाउन हुई है, सिविल स्कोर कम हुआ है और उसकी वजह से आपकी इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ रही है। तो सर ये मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है आपसे, मेंबर सबसे जो भी है इसके कंसर्निंग जो है वो इसको थोड़ा सा परस्यू करें कि कस्टमर्स को इस तरह की जो अगर नुकसान होगा और वो क्यों आएगा सर बैंक में अपने में, वो दूसरी जगह जाएगा बीटी करके। मैं एसबीआई से बीटी करा के आया था 2019 में सर, लेकिन उसके बाद में मैं 2020 से लेकर 2022 तक 150 पॉइंट की सिविल लॉस हो चुकी है अकाउंट में। 150 से इसके लिए मैंने सीजीएम बॉम्बे, जयपुर, जीएम राजस्थान और रीजनल ऑफिस से कॉन्टेक्ट किया पर कोई सेटिस्फेक्शन नहीं मिला। 10 महीने से ये चल रहा है मैटर। लेकिन सर इतनी इतनी बड़ी बैंक है और सेकंड नंबर की इंडिया की सेकंड नंबर की लार्जेस्ट बैंक है और इस पर लोगों का बहुत फेथ है। अगर इस तरह की चीजें होगी तो लोगों का फेथ कम होगा और डाइवर्ट होगा आदमी उससे। इसलिए मेरी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि इस तरह की चीजें कस्टमर के साथ जो होती हैं वो गलत है, इनको रिजॉल्व करने की कोशिश की जाए। और ये मैटर, मेरे को बड़ा दुख है कि मेरे को एजीएम में इस चीज को बोलना पड़ रहा है क्योंकि मैंने सब जगह कॉन्टेक्ट करके कोशिश कर ली, वो रिजॉल्व नहीं होता है। इसलिए मेरे को आज मजबूरी में आपके यहाँ एजीएम में बोलना पड़ रहा है चीज। और मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है आपसे कि ये मेल मैंने सबको भेजी हुई है आपके यहाँ पे, इसकी सीजीएम तक को भेजी हुई है और इसमें 4 जॉइंट और चारों की क्रेडिबिलिटी खराब हो गई और फाइनेंशियल लॉस तो हुआ ही हुआ है। तो एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि मेरे को इसका प्रॉपर इसका इन्वेस्टिंग है, अदरवाइज किसी भी बंदे को कोई भी बैंकिंग ओम्बड्समैन में कहीं जाएगा तो बैंक की इमेज खराब होगी सर। कहीं कंज्यूमर फॉर्म में जाएगा, बैंकिंग ओम्बड्समैन में जाएगा तो इसीलिए आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है सर कि प्लीज इसको मैटर को टेकअप करके और बाकी सभी बोर्ड मेंबर्स को और चेयरमैन सर को मेरा बहुत बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं। आपके बेस्ट ईयर्स के, भगवान ऐसी ही उन्नति सबको बैंक हमेशा करता रहे आगे भी। धन्यवाद सर।
Thank you very much, Dilip ji. Our next speaker, Mr. Praful Chavda, Hyderabad.
Mr. Praful Chavda.
हेलो, हाँ
Yes,
सर,
sir.
आवाज आ रही मेरी?
You are audible, sir. Kindly proceed.
ओके सर, आ रही सर? कैमरा चालू हो सकता है सर?
Yes, sir. You can switch on your camera, sir.
कुछ होता तो नहीं है?
You can proceed with your audio, sir.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर। हैदराबाद से मैं प्रफुल चावड़ा बोल रहा हूँ सर। सर फर्स्ट तो मैं शेयर होल्डर की हैसियत से और एक क्लाइंट की हैसियत से बात करना चाहता हूँ। एक क्लाइंट की हैसियत से मैं पूरे इंडिया को क्या क्या तकलीफ हो बताता हूँ सर। फर्स्ट तो आपके ऑफिस में हर जगह प्लेन नंबर रहना चाहिए, तो वीडियो कॉलिंग होना चाहिए। यानी कि हमको कुछ तकलीफ हो तो आपकी ऑफिस में वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग करें और वो नंबर पे भेज देंगे ताकि आपको प्रूफ के साथ सब चीज मिल जाती है कि ये चीज बैंक में क्या हो रही है। सर पासबुक एंट्री करने को जाते हैं, बार बार मशीन में लगाते हैं, एंट्री नहीं होती है, फिर बैंक में जाके पूछते हैं एंट्री नहीं हो रही है, तो ये इधर पासबुक कराने का है, वो पासबुक उधर कराने का है। यानी कि आपके पासबुक ही 2 टाइप का है, एक है बैंक में होता है, एटीएम मशीन के अंदर होता है। आपका बैंक में लास्ट टाइम भी बोला था पार्किंग की जगह ही नहीं है, चार टू व्हीलर रहता है, एक कार नहीं रह सकती। ऐसी जगह पे बैंक लगाने का मतलब क्या है? जो लोन देता है वो साइन कर लॉस होती है, तो इसकी जिम्मेदारी बनती है ऑफिसर की कि लोन रिकवर लिए इसको आगे बढ़ना चाहिए, देखना चाहिए कि लोन किस टाइप में यूज हो रही है। इस समय बहुत जगह पे देखता हूँ कि कोई दुकान लगाता है, फोटोग्राफ लेते हैं, बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा का फोन बोर्ड लगता है, लोन लेने वाला 2 दिन में गायब हो जाता है, लोन भरता है उन्हें, पैसे जगह पे यूज होता है। तो आपके साथ स्टाफ की मिली भगत से होता है, आपको सब मालूम रहता है। सर एटीएम कार्ड यूज होता है, एटीएम कार्ड लिए बार बार फोन आता है, तंग कर देता है आपका। फिर हम एटीएम कार्ड लेता है, एटीएम कार्ड लेने के बाद एटीएम कभी नहीं होता है, आपके स्टाफ को बोलते हैं तो नहीं उधर से जाके करो, उधर से जाके करो। अरे साहब हमको नहीं आता है, हम अनएजुकेटेड, हम गवार है, हमको तुम करके दिए।
Mr. Praful Chavda, you are not audible, sir. Sorry, sir. Mr. Praful Chavda is not there in the meeting, sir, due to some technical issue.
Next, our last speaker, Mr. Jinal G. Shah from Mumbai.
Mr. Jinal Jesha, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You are now muted.
Good morning, Board of Directors, Bank of Baroda. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak in the AGM. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Bank of Baroda for robust financial performances and the declaring dividend. I have 2 or 3 questions to ask. First, why bank is not giving the rewards on debit card and net banking transactions? Second, as per the annual report, there is 2 different positions at your bank, that is Board of Secretary and the Company Secretary. However, as per the best practice in the industry and for better governance, it should be the one position, that is Company Secretary, only should act as a Board of Secretary for better governance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shah. I now request the chairman, sir, to please continue the proceedings.
I'm very happy to find that there has been a widespread shareholders' interest and a lot of points have been raised. There is a lot of discussion by all the shareholders. We indeed appreciate your suggestions, and I would request the managing director now to respond to some of the questions which are asked. And one suggestion which I would like to make to the management is that wherever possible, wherever the shareholder who is also our client has raised any issue about level of services, somebody from our bank can call them and find out what are the details of this and may try and resolve those grievances as far as possible. So this is my suggestion to the MD, and I'll request MD Shri Sanjeev Chaddaji to kindly respond to some of the queries for which the replies are available. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and greetings to all the shareholders on behalf of the Board of Directors and the management team. I'll try to take the questions that have been listed one by one. The first question was from Mr. Aspi, and he spoke to us about the fact that we need to look at our large exposures. He mentioned one company's name in terms of what our exposure is, while due to reasons of client confidentiality, I cannot discuss the specific exposure of that company, but I would like to assure the shareholder that the bank is governed by the large exposure framework of the Reserve Bank of India. Therefore, any exposure that we take on any specific company or group of companies is limited to a certain percentage of our capital. And the bank is fully prudent in making sure that our exposure is well secured. I would also acknowledge the suggestion that while we return to physical mode in future, we should continue to have hybrid mode in terms of the annual general meeting. That's indeed a very good suggestion. We acknowledge the fact that because of COVID, all of us have started becoming used to new ways of working, and we shall try to endeavor that consistent with the law that we can hold our annual general meetings in hybrid mode, where those shareholders who want to be physically present can do so, and we can also interact with the shareholders through video conferencing. जो दूसरा सवाल था वो श्री सराफ का था, उसमें उन्होंने जो है बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण हमें सुझाव दिया बैंक के ESG कमिटमेंट के बारे में। तो मैं उनको आश्वस्त करना चाहूँगा कि बैंक जो है अपने सभी दायित्व जो हैं ESG के बारे में उनके प्रति सजग है। हमने निकट भूत में ही एक ESG डिपार्टमेंट की स्थापना की है, जिसका जो फोकस है तीनों चीज़ों पर है कि कैसे हम अपनी एनवायरनमेंट के प्रति अपना जो हमारा दायित्व है उसका पूरा करें, कैसे अपनी हम गवर्नेंस को इम्प्रूव करें, और साथ ही साथ जो विभिन्न वर्ग हैं जो हमारे कस्टमर्स में भी हैं और हमारे स्टाफ में हैं, उनको पर्याप्त अवसर बैंक में प्राप्त हों। बैंक की अपनी जो बिल्डिंग्स हैं, हमारा ये प्रयास रहता है कि वो सभी जो हैं उसमें हम बिजली की बचत करें, उसके अंदर LED बल्ब लगाएं। उसके साथ साथ बैंक अपने व्यवसाय में भी कोशिश कर रहा है कि ESG कंप्लायंट जो बिजनेस हैं उनको सपोर्ट करें। तो आपके सुझाव के लिए बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद। The third question was Mr. Manoj Kumar Gupta from Kolkata, and he spoke about the effort that the bank is making for managing stress in the bank's balance sheet and reducing NPAs. I would like to assure our respected shareholder that the bank indeed has made great progress over the last few years in managing the stress assets. The shareholders would have observed that despite the impact of COVID, in successive quarters, in successive quarters, our gross NPAs and net NPAs have come down, and we believe that we are using all the means that are available to the bank within legal parameters to make sure that A, we have better underwriting standards, and two, if loans go bad, we make full efforts to recover them. Second question was about the network of the bank and whether the bank is opening new branches in remote areas. So we believe that we have the responsibility of reaching out to the entire customer base of the bank and the new customers, but making sure that the costs are kept in check. So the bank strategy really is on three key parameters. A, to make sure that we keep on looking at a branch network, reshuffle it, open new branches, but also rationalize branches where the business is less or where there's a new branch which is nearby. The second pillar of the bank's effort is to have more and more business correspondents. We believe that if we have to reach our vast customer base, we must make sure that we use business correspondents, which can actually be much nearer to the customers. So it is our endeavor that over the next year or two, we increase the number of outlets of the bank, branches and business correspondents, from what was under 25,000 to nearly 50,000. So I'm sure our shareholders will also appreciate that there'll be some outlet of Bank of Baroda much nearer to them, while we make sure that the progress we have made in cost control continues. Also, the suggestion about having ATMs at railway stations, we'll look at that, and particularly again through new format branches, which are also being rolled out by the bank. The fourth shareholder, Mr. Manish Mehta, many thanks to Mr. Mehta. He's always been a well-wisher, and I remember him from previous board meetings. So Mr. Mehta again spoke about the impact of interest rates on the bank's investment portfolio. So the impact of interest rate is going to be varied, while it is likely to impact positively the bank's net interest margins because there is a lag between the repricing of liabilities as compared to assets. But nevertheless, in the short term, there will be an impact on the investment portfolio of the bank in terms of mark to market. But if I have to look at both things on balance, I'm reasonably positive that the overall impact on the bank will be positive, particularly as the risk will get priced in a manner which is much more appropriate as compared to what was there in a liquidity surplus situation. मंजीत सिंह जी का जो प्रश्न था वो हमारी सब्सिडरी कंपनीज के बारे में था. तो मंजीत जी, आपको मैं आश्वासन देना चाहूंगा कि बैंक ने जो भी अपनी पूंजी सब्सिडरी कंपनी लगाई हुई है उसका बैंक को पूरा लाभ मिल रहा है. आज की तिथि में हमारी 3-4 बेहतर सब्सिडरीज हैं. हमारा लाइफ इंश्योरेंस बिजनेस है, इंडिया फर्स्ट लाइफ, बैंक की क्रेडिट कार्ड कंपनी है, म्यूचुअल फंड कंपनी है, और आप ये देखेंगे इस वर्ष में और आने वाले वर्षों में कि इन सब्सिडरी कंपनी से न केवल बैंक को मुनाफा प्राप्त होगा, परंतु जो शेयर होल्डर वैल्यू है, बैंक की मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन है, उसमें भी इनका जो अंश है, इनकी जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है वो आगे बढ़ेगी. श्री यूसुफ यूनुस रंगवाला, उनको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद इस बारे में हमें याद दिलाने में कि हमारे जो स्टाफ हैं उनके प्रति हमारा बहुत ही आभार है कोविड के दौरान. उनको सूचित करना चाहूंगा कि आज की तिथि में हमारे लगभग 80,000 कर्मचारी हैं और उन पे कोविड का बहुत ही विपरीत असर हुआ था, खासकर सेकेंड वेव के दौरान, परंतु उन्होंने हिम्मत करके बैंक का कारोबार जारी रखा और उसी की वजह से आज जो बैंक की आप परफॉर्मेंस देख रहे हैं उन्हीं की वजह से हैं. उनको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. The next question, the seventh, was from Ms. Humayun Beruz. So she again brought a very important fact to our notice that when we have merged the three banks, there will be customers who had account with all the three banks, and therefore there may be a challenge in terms of the issue of duplicate customer ID. So we have taken note of this, and we'll try to see how we can make sure that even as we adhere to the guidelines of the Reserve Bank of India, there's no inconvenience at all to our customers. Also taken note that she's a customer of our Princess Road branch, and we'll reach out to you, ma'am, to see how we can help you to make sure that this inconvenience is mitigated suitably. The eighth question was from Ms. Celestine Elizabeth. First of all, thank you very much for your appreciation in terms of what the bank is doing. You also spoke about the ESG rating of the bank. So while the bank does not formally have an ESG rating, as I mentioned before, we are completely committed to making sure that the bank is a responsible organization when it comes to ESG. And we are also endeavoring to make sure that in terms of all the parameters on which an organization can be measured in terms of ESG, we actually improve on them. And in times to come, when we go in for a rating, that rating fully reflects the commitment of the bank to ESG. In terms of the impact of the Ukraine war, the Russia and Sri Lanka, we do not have any branches in either three countries, either in Ukraine or in Russia or in Sri Lanka, and the impact on the business of the bank has been relatively marginal. Mr. Aloysius Mascarenhas, he again spoke about the importance of senior citizens to the bank. I would really thank him for his suggestion. The bank is fully committed to making sure that senior citizens are recognized as a very important constituency of the bank. Even through digital mode, we will be trying to make sure that we come out with a version of Bob World which actually caters to senior citizens, so that the challenges that are there at times in terms of accessing branches, those can be mitigated. And thank you very much for your suggestions. To Mrs. Lekha Shah, thank you very much, ma'am, again for mentioning the various awards that the bank has won. Also, in terms of tie-up with private organizations, we indeed have arrangements with many organizations, including NBFCs, to make sure that the bank can access our customers and also the wider customer base through other means apart from the branch network of the bank. And in terms of merger of branches, as I mentioned, we are constantly looking at a network to make sure that we increase our footprint wherever our customers are, and at the same time rationalize it to make sure that we keep cost imperatives in mind. Mr. Abhishek, about the impact of COVID on business. Indeed, the impact of COVID on our business was quite severe. First due to lockdown in the first wave, and then because of the second wave and the impact on our staff members in particular. And you would have seen that the first quarter performance of the bank in the year that we have closed actually suffered quite seriously. But because of the resilience of our staff members, we could bounce back, and that is how we ended the year actually in a pretty strong position. We also thank you for your suggestions in terms of steps to reduce expenses. You talked about employees and employee salaries. You'd be glad to know that number of employees in the bank actually over the last 2 or 3 years has come down as we have benefited from the synergies of the merger. Mr. Hinan Kotwani spoke about again the fact that retired senior citizens can be a very important source of business for the bank. We are acutely conscious of that, and the bank is making efforts to strengthen its wealth management business and also to make sure that the wider body of senior citizens is covered adequately digitally through our branch network, as also again through our wealth managers. दिनेश भाटिया जी को धन्यवाद, उन्होंने जो हमें कंग्रेचुलेट किया और उन्होंने बताया कि कैसे जो है हमारे प्रोविजंस रिड्यूस हुए हैं, उसकी वजह से हमारा मुनाफा बढ़ा है। दिनेश जी को मैं आश्वासन देना चाहूंगा कि साइबर क्राइम के बारे में उनके जो सुझाव हैं, हम उसके प्रति पूर्णतः जागरूक हैं और हमारी पूरी कोशिश रहेगी कि हमारे किसी भी क्लाइंट को इसका नुकसान ना हो। आपने जिक्र किया कि आपके परिवार में एक व्यक्ति, मेरे ख्याल आपके पुत्र को शायद 15,000 रुपए का नुकसान हुआ था। एक बार आप हमें दोबारा लिखिएगा, हम दोबारा कोशिश करेंगे, यदि उसमें बैंक की ओर से कोई त्रुटि या चूक होगी उसको हम अवश्य पूरा करेंगे। 14वां सवाल था श्री दिलीप कुमार जैन का जयपुर से। उन्होंने बात की सिविल स्कोर के बारे में कि कैसे यदि बैंक जो है या फाइनेंस इंस्टीट्यूशंस बार-बार सिविल स्कोर पता करती हैं तो उसका विपरीत असर पड़ता है सिविल स्कोर के ऊपर। तो आपको मैं आश्वासन देना चाहूंगा, ये तो बिल्कुल सही है कि हमारी जो प्राइसिंग है, इंटरेस्ट रेट है, वो सिविल स्कोर से लिंक्ड है, परंतु हम इस बारे में ध्यान देते हैं कि हम बार-बार सिविल स्कोर ना देखें, परंतु आपका सुझाव है उसको हमने ग्रहण किया है और हम बात करेंगे सिविल से कैसे कि इसका जो है अनावश्यक प्रभाव जो है हमारे ग्राहकों पर ना पड़े। प्रफुल्ल चावड़ा जी, आपका सुझाव कि हमारी शाखाओं के अंदर वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग की सुविधा होनी चाहिए जिससे कोई भी कस्टमर फीडबैक जो है वो हम तक पहुंच पाए, बहुत ही अच्छा सुझाव है। हम इसको एग्जामिन करेंगे और देखेंगे कि कैसे इस सुझाव की हम अनुपालना कर सकते हैं। आपका बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद इस सुझाव के लिए। Mr. Janil Shah again spoke about reward points on debit cards. So Mr. Shah, and also on internet banking. So Mr. Shah, you'll be very glad to know that we have actually introduced an account category called the Bob Benefits Bonanza account, where points are given, and also there are freebies like Netflix subscriptions for those category of accounts. These accounts are largely operated online. So I would really request you to examine that, but also in terms of your suggestion on other category of transactions, particularly digital transactions, we'll try to examine the same. Once again, thank you to all our shareholders for their participation and for their questions. If there are any questions that we have left unanswered, I would like to assure them that there'll be answers which will be sent in writing from our company secretary's department. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chadda. It's very comprehensively, he has covered responses to all the questions raised and the suggestions made. And he has been sounding very, very positive, as you can see from his response. And so is the entire board. So the entire board is very positive about the suggestions of shareholders, because this bank is owned by the shareholders, so we appreciate that. I now request the shareholders who are yet to cast their votes to cast their votes, please. This 26th annual general meeting shall stand closed after 30 minutes. Based on the results of the scrutinizers, the consolidated results of remote e-voting and voting at the 26th AGM will be announced within 24 hours of meeting by the company secretary of the bank and also hosted on the websites of the bank, stock exchanges, and Caffeine Technologies Limited. I thank you once again for your participation in this meeting. So we thank everyone and we stop here. Although officially the meeting shall close only after 30 minutes, during which you can do the voting if you are not already done. Okay? So, but we will all go off camera now. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we can meet after 5 minutes for the board. Okay, after 5 minutes, we'll meet for the board if everybody is okay.
you.